Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max&JuanCast live show. We are here. It's Wednesday evening, and I can't start the show without introducing my co-host.
What's up, everybody? It's Max. I'm happy to be here. Let's go, bro. I'm excited today.
I need more energy than that.
I'm really excited. I had my heart broken last night by the Bucks. Spoiler alert for what we're going to talk about first.
Well, let's go ahead and hit that intro, bro, because we can't start the Max&JuanCast without that.
Why are you laughing?
Because every time we play our clip, Max loves to point out that dot by Michael Vick that he loves to watch.
I'll say it.
So how's your week going so far, man? How was your Monday and Tuesday?
Busy, bro. Very busy. A lot of NBA playoffs. A lot of just mixed feelings, I guess would be the best word to describe it, man.
I mean, most definitely, bro. A lot of these series are kind of taking a different turn from everything, and we're going to get into it today, man. We're going to be mainly basketball. It's all basketball today. So if you're an NBA fan, you're welcome, because that's all we're going to talk about. Playoffs, and some more playoffs. And there's no other way to start without starting with the Nets and the Bucks. So the Bucks are down 3-2, Max. Kevin Durant, legendary game.
God, I just want to shout out to everyone who was like, this is a perfect game for Kevin Durant to have an amazing game. What a take. Like, yeah, no shit, he was gonna ball, bro. Like, come on. This is what great players do. It would have been a bigger story if he didn't have a great game, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because this is a guy whose legacy I think is probably the most questioned legacy of a superstar we have, with the way he got 2 of his championships, and that's always going to be a debate, right? But this performance, there's no debating. And people are going to say James Harden played like crap. He was a non-factor. I felt like he did more for them just being out there than he did actually being out there, if that makes sense. Like, just his presence alone helped the team. You know what I mean? And Jeff Green, vintage, he had one of his Jeff Green games. What can I say? We'll get into a little later. Well, give me your thoughts. Bucks blew it.
I was shocked. Yeah, Bucks blew it. They blew a perfect opportunity, Max, in my opinion. They had the Nets right where they wanted them. And I was actually telling a coworker this before the game. I said, so you're going to bank on one of the others, as I like to call them, the Mike James, Jeff Green, who's the other one? Blake Griffin. Yeah, guys like that to score 20 plus.
Well, one of those guys did it. Hey, have you ever heard the expression, don't kick a guy when he's down?
Yeah.
The Bucks could have kicked them when they were down, and they were very nice and didn't, and it's probably going to cost them the series. The Bucks had their foot on their neck, and instead of pressing it, they let up, and they let the Nets take command of the series. And I don't know if Milwaukee can win it. Even in halftime, Charles Barkley's like, that Milwaukee's probably going to win the championship, but they're horribly coached. Yeah. And boy, was he right about the horribly coached. And I know we haven't really talked about the series, in 3 games, right? When was the last time?
No, it's been a while.
I'll take you through 3 games real quick. Game 3, the ugliest game I've ever seen, right?
Yeah.
It was just like a fist fight. They got lucky to win that game. PJ Tucker, KD had their little fight. That was cute. Game 4 was what? The Kyrie injury. The Bucks whooped that ass. Kyrie's out, and then Game 5 comes around. Everyone's picking the Bucks to have the demons, to exercise their demons, and their demons just got them. KD just dominated.
Yeah, that's the one guy in the series that I'm always scared about, Max. I've been saying it since before the series. I said, everything else, James Harden, Kyrie, that's all good, but you have this all-time great player on the other side with KD, where he's capable of having one of these nights. And that's just the facts of it. But regardless, I just want to say this. The Bucks, with Kyrie and James Harden healthy, I don't even think this series is close.
I agree.
No, yeah. Anyone who thinks otherwise, I don't know what you're watching. I can admit when I'm wrong, I was wrong about the Bucks. I think I drank a little bit too much of that Bucks Kool-Aid with Max. He convinced me.
I put a straw in the Kool-Aid, like the Gatorade, like the big one they dump on coaches, and I was drinking straight from there. And that shit was good while it lasted, but man, it's definitely poison Kool-Aid at this point. I mean, they win the series? Yeah, is it likely? No. And you were talking about when we say Katie had an all-time game, 49, 17 rebounds, 10 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, shot 70% from the field.
Yeah.
Do we often talk about Kevin Durant as a scorer too much? Like, he had 10 assists, 17 rebounds. Like, he had an all-around game.
Yeah, triple-double.
Was this not a LeBronian type game?
Most definitely, and he was getting a lot of flack before the game talking about he hasn't done it by himself. And I mean,
how was that?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, when you put it in perspective like that, it has been a while since he has been the lone superstar, but there's been multiple times where he's been on the Warriors and, even the Thunder back in their heyday. He was the guy to have the big game. But this scenario was a little bit different because they were already projecting him to be more of a facilitator, a facilitator and a rebounder, just an all-around effectiveness on the game.
He had his imprint on every part of the game.
Yeah. He played every minute. He didn't come out.
No, that's what a superstar should do. Like, I'm looking at a lot of the Bucks game time. Giannis played 42, Middleton 45, Holiday 34. Holiday was in foul trouble. I get it. Giannis had a little bit of fouls. But next game, Giannis got to go 48. Unless he's in foul trouble, you got to go in 48 minutes. All these guys. And you got to pull out all the stops. And, I mean, if I'm a Bucks fan, we haven't really touched on the Bucks. I'm telling myself, Jeff Green had this game. That's not really going to happen. Like, when are you going to see a Jeff Green game again?
Yeah.
Like, he had his game.
Yeah, he's due for one again.
He has won a series. I mean, I could, let's just go to it right now. I got 3 Jeff Green games, which I call the Jeff Green games. Game 5 versus the Bucks, 27 on 8 for 11 shooting, 7 for 8 from 3. Last year, game 1 against OKC, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 8 for 12 shooting. And game 7 with the Cavs against Boston, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 7 for 14, 2 for 9 from 3. Which is the best Jeff Green game? Because he was the second best player on that Cavs team.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
I think that will probably be his best game.
I don't know, man. He swung this game. I know KD had an all-time great performance, but he had 30 off the bench.
Yeah, and one more thing because I do want to talk about Giannis and I do want to talk about just the whole overall legacy of KD. But before we do, let's stay a little bit more on topic on the actual series. What's your thoughts on James Harden? Because he's hurt. Yeah,
he's hurt. Like, I don't really care that he played bad. I mean, he got his legacy bailed out, even though I don't think his legacy was on the line because he shouldn't be playing. Like 5 points, 6 rebounds, 1 for 10 shooting. I don't know if I should save it for the Bucks, but I feel like they did not go at him enough. If that makes sense.
No, that I really wanted to get your opinion on that, and you kind of answered my question. There was a point where Giannis had him back down 1-on-1, no help, and he took a fadeaway.
That is one of the everlasting moments from this game that is going to stay. I think the perfect...
And the coach, like, why don't you go at him more?
Yeah, it's stupid. The Bucks love to play their game. They're like, oh, yeah, we'll play our game. Doesn't matter. You guys have one leg, like, we're not going to change. And here's what I don't understand, bro. Please help me, like, enlighten me on this. If I'm the Bucks, right, and I'm Giannis, why do I settle for that? Like, I don't understand. He went to the jump hook a few times. I even texted you. I'm like, look how bad his jump hook is.
Yeah,
he's shooting it off his wrist. I just don't understand why he settled for that shot. Like, here's the microcosm of the Bucks series. They let this game slip through their hands, right? What did Giannis do on that last play where he got the ball from
fumbled,
slip through his hands?
Yeah,
and that's going to be the everlasting memory if they lose the series for me.
So I want to talk about it. Let's go into this one.
Are you going to jump into Giannis right now?
Yes, let's jump into Giannis. I had some thoughts about Giannis. I was telling Max, I've been very eager to get off these thoughts. I've been on multiple podcasts lately as a special guest, and I've been talking about it on there everywhere but our own podcast. And it's that time. I mean, this is 3 years, Max. And I want you to put it in perspective like this. We're both in agreements, like we said in the beginning of the pod, how this series is not close. It's probably 5 games at the most that if Kyrie and Harden are healthy, the Bucks are losing this series. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when you put it in that perspective, this is 3 straight years of either getting bounced in the first round or the second round. And that
you said it's 3 straight years of being bounced in the first or second round?
Yeah.
They went to the conference finals, though, like 3 years with Toronto.
Yeah, that's the second round, though.
That's third round.
Oh, that's third round.
Yeah.
Conference finals.
Yeah,
with
but
the Raptors.
But
yeah. Right.
But no, but I understand what your point. They just keep coming up short.
Yeah,
that's your point.
They keep on coming up short, and I think a big problem is Giannis. And I get it, guys. Like, he's amazing on defense. I know it's funny because you're gonna get into that even more, but he's a great transition player. He's long, he's strong, but once it comes down to the playoffs, he struggles to get a shot off because he can't shoot. He's not the best post-up player, and I don't know why, but the Bucks continue, whether it's money or, you know, that's really what Mike Budenholzer likes to run. But him as a playmaker and him with the ball as the one and having everyone else spread out is not a good idea. He's not there.
Why isn't it a good idea?
IQ wise, he's not there. I don't think he recognizes the double teams fast enough. Once the double comes, he doesn't know what to do. He's either fumbling the ball, turning it over, or making the wrong pass. And to me, when you're a great player and the double team comes, like, good things should happen. That's when you should really tear apart a defense. He does not do that. He needs to switch up his game. Max has been saying it for a couple years now. Put him at center. Like, why not? But to put him at center, like I said, you have to develop a low post game. Giannis doesn't have that at all. Max was just alluding earlier. His post hook is horrible. Like, if we really think about it, what is Giannis's go-to move besides going to the basket and being bigger than the other person?
To pull the ball out, get ahead of steam, and get a charge.
Exactly. And look, him in transit, but look, him in transition,
it's great. Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Like, keep on doing that, bro. But when it gets down to this half court offense, him being that ball handler and him being expected to be a Luka, Paul George, Kawhi.
No.
Okay, probably not Paul George. Kawhi Leonard.
You're not wrong in your assumption. I'm saying no. Like, stop doing this.
Yeah,
and I think part of it is, as a young player, they empowered him to play point guard. They're like, oh, this is the cheat code. But you know what I liked in the first half with the Bucks? Like, he wasn't really initiating a lot of the offense. It was like, I'm going to pass the ball, set a screen, get going downhill. And I don't understand why he keeps pulling the ball out, trying to get ahead of steam. It's like they're just going to take a charge. Granted, I think I've been a long advocate for get rid of charges in the NBA because I think it's a bullshit way to play. Like, I understand there's like small guys and they have to do something, but why should a guy be rewarded for just standing in your way and get run over? That's like, you have to go up, in my opinion. Different topic, but
yeah. Well, talk about him on defense, Max. Like, talk about that.
I don't think he's a great I know he's a great defender, but I don't understand why you're not guarding Kevin Durant. I don't understand why. Like, tell me his impact on the game defensively in the fourth quarter.
It's been a 0.
Describe to me what he does if you want to, or I can describe it, whichever you prefer.
He's a roamer.
He can't roam.
I know.
He can't roam because they're like, oh, we're going to have you guard Joe Harris. Joe Harris is going to, sorry to make the mic. He's just going to sit in the corner and just spot up, and Giannis is going to stand there. And the whole fucking play, excuse my language, is going to happen on the other side of the court. And it's like, that seems like a really good use for a guy who's Defensive Player of the Year, just to have him sit in the freaking corner.
Yeah.
I was telling you constantly, like, why isn't he guarding Kevin Durant? It's like they're avoiding him for a reason. I think because he is good on, but it's like stupid. I think it's Coach Bud. We'll get into Coach Bud.
It is. I really do hope it is.
How many hook shots has he shot this series?
I have no idea. I would love to know though.
7. I feel like you should shoot like 20.
It's unacceptable.
He's 41 for 48 from the restricted area this series. It's like 80%.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the closer to the basket he is, the better he is. I don't know. Because when he's shooting jump shots, it's not that good. It's like 40%.
And like another thing,
it's a win. Anytime he takes a jump shot, it's a freaking win.
Oh, yeah. And I like the fact that he takes them. You know, he attempts them too much.
I'd rather have that than Ben Simmons. I'll just say. No
that's
shade
what
at Ben.
I'm trying to get to. But, like, don't stop that. Take about 1 or 2 a game. That's fine.
He did that thing where he was gonna pull like his stupid 3 with 20 seconds on the shot clock, but he stopped, and I was like, "Good,
yeah, I see that.
Very good. That's awesome."
Yeah, but you have to look at him as a center, Max. I think you're absolutely right from a couple years ago. And
say he's a power forward, you got to start playing in the post.
Yeah,
like
he needs to develop a low post game because look, maybe you can see the double team a lot better inside the low post. You know, you can see the floor a lot better.
It's harder to. I don't think he's good at identifying double teams, like you said, but it shouldn't be that hard because he's so tall. You can just throw the ball over the double team. But like I was trying to explain to you, when he shoots that post hook, the ball is like right here to your palm. He has no freaking touch, and I think part of it is he doesn't work on it because his whole career it's like you got to play your perimeter. It's like you have this destructive object, go to the post, dominate like Shaq would. I understand. Shaq's a special breed, but the NBA has gotten smaller. He's one of the biggest guys in the NBA. Like,
yeah,
you don't have that many skills. I hate Giannis is not the most skilled guy out there, right? And I truly believe Coach Bud, like the way I look at Milwaukee's offense, not just Giannis, it's so bad at times. It's like, hey, Joe Harris guarding Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez beat it, go to the corner. It's like, why wouldn't you post up? I don't think Brook Lopez is some special player anymore. But even I'm like, that's 2 points. Is it not? Yeah. Am I insane for thinking is that 2?
No, you're not, because right after that crazy KD 3, they come back on the other end. It's a dunk by Brook Lopez. Like, that's how easy they can score inside at times.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't mind how they play at times, right? But they have so many bad possessions. Like next game, I'm gonna chart every bad possession. I'm gonna write down every time I think it's a bad possession by them.
Yeah.
And it's too many times if Drew Holiday dribbles down 3, Chris Middleton 3. But no one touched the ball. Is that not idiotic?
Yeah, and that's part of it with him too. Like maybe you got to grow some balls, Giannis. Like I know Giannis, like from last year, the famous quote that he had, like, "Oh, this is what my coach is telling me to do, like not to guard." Who was it? Jimmy Butler. Yeah, it's like, bro, that's when the superstarness needs to come out. You're getting paid all this money. You guard the best player. You know, like you got to do it. Like Kawhi did it. Kawhi said, "You know what? Fuck all this. I'm gonna guard Luka."
Yeah, and he didn't like stop him, but he slowed him down. I would say, and that's what great players do.
And at least you're going down with your great player. Like they're going down with PJ, and I love PJ. I love PJ
from a good job on Durant
from a mental standpoint, but at some point it's gonna break like it did in Game 5.
We have to talk about this. We have to talk about these stupid fucking refs.
Yeah,
that's my last curse of the pod. They call it so differently every freaking game. It's stupid. Game 4, they're allowing physicality. Game 5, that's a foul. I don't understand. Call it the same freaking way. And I'm so done with the way they just, I understand playoff basketball, right? It's more physical. But they let stuff fly that should be a foul. It's like, I just don't understand it, dude. And the game is so geared to offense in the NBA. They're not allowed to play defense. I don't understand how Landry Shamet can brick wall PJ Tucker every screen he sets. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand because he moves every fucking god dang it. Every screen. He's moving screen every play and they don't call it. And then they're like, no, we'll call it once in a while.
Right.
I don't understand. Keep it consistent. It's a rule book. It's supposed to be there. I understand you want to let them play. But if someone fouls, call a foul.
Right.
I'm so done with the refs, dude. I hate them. All of them. Monty McCutcheon, all of them.
Yeah. No, I feel you. But my final thoughts on Giannis is he's a regular season player, bro. Like he really look, I'm gonna say it.
I said it before, but don't say it, please. Leave me alone.
I have to. He's Lamar Jackson, bro. Like when it comes down to it, in a playoff game, you gotta. I love to use football analogies.
Oh, you do?
I love it. You know, I kind of favor football a little bit more, but I'm gonna do it again. Lamar Jackson on a third down on an obvious passing down where he has to get a first down. He has to fit in a tight window. He cannot make that throw. And it's kind of like Giannis in this perspective. Like when it comes down to the last possession and you're down by 3, how valuable are you? You know? Or like even a bucket at that point. Like you would think like, hey, just drive into the paint. But no, like you double him, he's probably going to make the wrong decision.
They took some really smart fouls on him. They were like, I'm just going to foul you. They were down by 1 for a reason.
That's a great point because, I mean, even James Harden did it at one point. It's like, okay, if this guy gets past me, foul him. He's going to miss it. 1 for 2 at least. And that's a problem. That's a problem to me. And to me, it makes me back off because I know, like, I love Giannis. Like, his game, like, as far as, like, transition, like, it's great in the regular season. Like, he's a cool dude. But it really makes me reevaluate, like, if this guy's even, like, a top 5 player. Because I judge players on the most important moments. And this is it. It's playoff basketball. And this is 3 years straight that we've seen his game flawed.
I think we need to spend 2 minutes talking about Coach Bud. Because I think his system is really good. Like, I think he's a regular season coach too. I know we don't have like a slide, or do we?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
He coached them out of the game. They're just stupid. They don't attack James Harden. Drew Holiday attacked him 4 times and got like 4 layups. Like no one contested him. And Harden's not healthy. Like the Bucks should win this series, should they not?
Yeah.
With the hand Brooklyn's been dealt, they should win this series handedly. And I feel like the Bucks are the kings at shooting themselves in the foot.
And I hope that's the problem. I really do. I hope it's Coach Bud.
I just don't think they understand how to play basketball. Like, that sounds really stupid, right? Because they're NBA players, but they make the game hard for themselves. It's like, instead of just doing the easy shit and taking like what you can get, like we have to shoot a lot of threes. We have to, like, why aren't they pounding the ball on the inside every freaking play on this team? Like KD's like, why don't you set a screen on Kevin Durant once in a while to make him feel you? Like you have to tire him out somehow. Do you not?
No.
Like you just can't. Like one thing I loved was Drew Holiday picked up James Harden full court. I'm like, that is smart. I would test out that hamstring every play.
Yeah,
I would. Yeah. I would literally like the Lakers did to Chris Paul, like after game 2.
Cavs did the Curry, like whoever's on Harden offense.
I just don't understand, man.
Any last thoughts on the Bucks before we switch?
Well, I think we should just do a Game 6 preview. Or like what you think is going to happen in Game 6? You think
I wouldn't be surprised if Milwaukee wins, but
are they dead in the series? Is my question to you. Like that's my final thought.
I think so.
I think they have. I think if they win this game, if they can win the series, they're going to win the championship because this is the type of like adversity you have to win. Like champions win these type of series.
Yeah, I don't see it turning.
I don't see it. I see 90% failure on their part. I just want to hold out a little hope. But again, it has so much to do. It has more to do with Brooklyn being banged up than it does the Bucks. I still feel like.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about KD.
Okay.
AKA Slim Reaper.
Durantula.
Or Durantula.
Always and forever. I'm a Durantula guy.
Exactly. And this is another thing that you talked about years ago. There was a point in time, Max, where LeBron was on a really good run. And you're saying like, you know what? I know everyone thinks KD is a punk for leaving and he gets so much flack for that, but he's the best player in the NBA right now. Like I remember you saying that confidently. And last night, does that just solidify it just off what he can do right there? Because I know he's had the injury and a lot of people forget about him because he didn't play last season. But what do you think right now, like present day?
I think he is the best player in the NBA, but I want to preference it. I just still don't know if I can trust him to stay healthy. Is that crazy for me to say?
Not at all. It's kind of scary for him playing every minute.
Yeah, I'm like I told you from the moment it happened. Can I take you on a little history lesson? Because we didn't have the podcast. When he hurt his quote unquote ankle the first time against Houston, what did I say to you? I said, he blew out his Achilles. His Achilles is fucked. I said his Achilles is messed up. And they're like, oh, it's just a high ankle sprain. Remember, they're like, it's an ankle. I'm like, he didn't touch his ankle. Yeah. And then when he blew out his Achilles, I was like, I told you something was bugging him. And then I read all these articles about it's not his plant. Like, he's going to be better than the normal guy coming off an Achilles. Because Kobe got it done. Yeah. It was night and day. The physicality was gone.
Yeah.
And KD, does he look that much different to you?
No. I think he still has explosiveness. His jump shot is fine.
I really don't think anyone realizes how good of an athlete he is.
And on defense, he shows that he can still be elite.
He's to think of a guy in his like, when did he go to Golden State? Like his 8th year?
Yeah.
He transformed defensively. Like, he's a good rim protector to a certain degree. He's not an amazing lockdown defender, but he makes it tough for guys. He is an all-time great. He's the best scorer in NBA history. I'm going to say it. I'm always going to say it. If you gave me the game, if you told me, hey, I need one guy to shoot the last shot, I'd take KD. I don't see how. Like, if you're going to tell me one-on-one, you can pick any defender you want. KD's not the go-to guy.
Yeah.
People always want to talk about how soft he is because he talks shit on Twitter, but, like, he's always hitting, like, clutch shots, is he not?
Yeah.
So, like, what does that matter if he's, like, a little, like, prima donna? To a certain degree. Like, I think he catches too much flack is what I'm trying to say.
No, he really does. He really does. I'm not
hair. I want to reiterate.
He
gotta have that LeBron hairline criticism, but I don't know why he don't get it.
I mean, KD, to me, he's gonna go down as one of the top 7 players in NBA history. There's no doubt. I don't even think there's a discussion.
Do you think he suffered from being second in the NBA for a lot of years?
Look, I was going to say that.
The reason I say that is because you can go. I'm going to show you something.
He gets officiated like that. Like, he kind of gets officiated not like a superstar. Don't you think? Like, doesn't, like, we're watching the Hawks game right now.
Thank God you didn't make that freaking graphic.
Did they win?
Oh, yeah.
The Hawks won?
Well, you're interviewing Trae Young, dummy.
Oh, my goodness. Well, look.
Thank God
my God. He had 39. That is, oh, my gosh. We have to talk about that later. A guy like Trae Young, he hasn't been in the league for a long time, but
oh, my God,
he gets fouls like crazy.
Well, I don't think it's part of KD's game. I don't think he's like, I have to play to that. Like, this is what I wanted to show you. This was a cover in Sports Illustrated. And it says, I've been second my whole life. I was the second best player in high school. I was the second pick in the draft. And I've been second in the MVP voting for 3 times.
You should email that to me.
I came second in the NBA Finals. I'm tired of being second. This is when he was on the Thunder. And I feel like that stigma has always stuck with him. Like, he's always kind of been an afterthought to a lot of guys. And no fault of his own. It's just like LeBron's an immovable object, right? Yeah. Like, LeBron deserved to be number 1 for a long time.
Right.
And he kind of kicked LeBron's. I'm not going to say that. He did not kick LeBron's butt in the finals. The Warriors kicked the Cavs' butt. But he outdid LeBron, I would say. He did not kick his butt. But if LeBron was like a 8.9 in the finals, he was like a 9.7.
Right.
Like, I thought he was the best player in the first series.
No, it was great. It was one of the all-time great games by KD. It came at the perfect time. His team was back against the wall. They got shell-shocked the game before that with Kyrie going down. He struggled.
He has an IQ that Giannis doesn't have right now.
Oh, yeah, it's facts.
And I know Giannis is younger, obviously, but KD just has a natural feel for it. Like, he kind of started off like LeBron, did he not? Like, it was kind of like a slow start. Like,
yeah.
I was like, he's not coming out as aggressive, but I feel like I, too, been thinking about him just as a scorer for way too long. Like, he's an all-around player.
Yeah.
Like, I've considered him one of the best players in the NBA, no doubt, but everyone's like, scorer.
That's the big reason why he flourished in Golden State.
I love how people still hate him for doing that. Like, was it not the right move? Was it not the right move for him to go to Golden State?
It was.
I understand it wasn't the funnest, but was it not the right move?
Yeah.
I know he's a snake. I know. I think what's like the best case scenario for him out of this playoff run? Like, if Kyrie and Harden stay hurt and he wins the championship himself.
Oh, my gosh. I think it really does change the legacy.
Because I feel like his legacy's still not going to, like, get fixed. I only say fixed, and I don't think it's broken. But I think mainstream media thinks it's broken because he didn't go through adversity to get his championships.
Right.
I feel like when he went to Brooklyn, I was like, oh, he's going to be the guy for Brooklyn. Like, you can have a co-star, but if he's the guy and he wins a championship, it'll fix it all. Because I always said to you, when LeBron went to the Heat and lost, people were like, we feel bad for him. Like, now you can, like, now we'll feel good for you, like, when you win. And that's, like, KD never went through that adversity, I feel like.
Yeah. Well said, Max. Well, we're going to take a quick break, guys, but we'll be right back after these messages. So the Max and JuanCast got its first sponsorship, Max. You want to know what it is?
Tell me, please.
It's Anchor. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about Anchor, Max?
Well, I know it's free, and I know they have a bunch of creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast, whether it's from your phone, your computer, or whatever you're using. But I know one thing. You know a lot more about editing than I do.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. I'm the one that steers this ship as far as edit-wise. But what I like about it, I like that you can distribute your podcast automatically all in one place to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more, like Google Podcasts. You can also make money from making your own podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need in a podcast all in one place.
Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
Link in the description, guys. Alrighty.
We're back.
Yeah, shout out to Anchor for that. But let's talk about this 76ers.
What's your graphics say? Read it.
Yeah, just for the audience. I'm not going to have it on the screen. But yeah, look, series tied 2-2. I didn't even put it. I kind of, yeah. But
I wish I had like a red pen. I could just like scribble like Sixers. The Doc, this isn't planned anyway, because we couldn't predict Doc Rivers had a Doc Riversian game. So I feel like Chris Paul's taking a lot of flack for blowing big games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are we ready to say it's Doc Rivers, or is it still too soon?
I'm ready.
Because can I tell you the breakdown of scoring?
Yeah.
Philly got outscored 40-19 in the fourth quarter.
Dude, they were sitting guys at one point. Like, I seen them sit Embiid and Simmons because they were up by so much.
It doesn't really make sense that Philly lost this game because Trae Young had 39. He had 20 free throws. That's the bullshit we're talking about how KD doesn't get. I know he had 15 free throws, but he actually gets fouled. He doesn't sell it. But Trae Young has 40, essentially. Somehow he's -6 in the box score because, of course, right? Gallinari has 16. Lou Will has 15. John Collins has 19. Bogdanovich, bad game. Herter doesn't scratch on the points. And then this is what's frightening to me if I'm Philly, dude. Embiid had 37. Curry had 36. Tobias Harris had 4 points.
That's unacceptable by Tobias Harris.
Ben Simmons had 8.
Oh, my God. 6 for 10 at free throw line?
How many free throws did he show?
10?
No. 14. How many you make?
6?
4.
Oh,
missed 10 free throws.
My God.
That's so bad.
How many points did Embiid have?
37. He did his 37, 13, 5. He had 5 turnovers. That's bad, but he had 4 blocks. So
wow.
He had a good shooting performance too. It's not like
that's alarming, man. So what? They're up 3-2 now.
Going back to Atlanta.
Oh my goodness.
Do you think Philly has the fortitude to like
They're win so weird though.
They've kicked the Hawks' ass like twice.
Yeah.
And then just like this one they collapsed on. And I was kind of peeking on the game. Anyone who's watching, like sees me open my mouth like because I'm watching, I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, and I'm looking up Tobias Harris's contract, 5 years, $180 million for what did I say? 8 points? 8? 4 points.
4 points. Oh man. My gosh. At least get 5, my guy. Come on.
That's that ain't good enough, Toby.
Yeah, that's not good
I don't
enough.
even want to hate on him because he actually hasn't had a bad series. Like he's averaging 21 a game. But it's probably like, oh, you're due to have that 4-point game.
What is wrong with Philly, man? That is insane.
It's just more cause. I know people aren't going to blame Ben Simmons because it's not his job to score. But can you really invest $20 million in a guy who's like incapable of scoring and is a guard, essentially? Like, is there a guy in the NBA who has the potential Ben Simmons has that is bad offensively? Because, like, okay, you can compare Giannis to Simmons, right? But how much better offensively is Giannis?
Yeah, I would say Ben Simmons is a 2 and Giannis is a 5.
I would have said Giannis is like a 7.
Really?
Because I feel like he can get downhill and it's like unstoppable at times, but Ben Simmons can't. Like he's not unstoppable. And I get it's hard to play, right, for Ben Simmons because you play next to Embiid. But just like I said, how many times can I say the lack of growth is ridiculous offensively?
And that's a Philly collapse, right? That's
yeah.
That's not Atlanta.
You get outscored 21 points in the fourth quarter, you collapsed. And
that's unbelievable.
I'm gonna look up how much Trae Young had in the fourth quarter right now. So just keep it growing right now.
Look, they have a bunch of guys who are super inconsistent, like Shake Milton. Thybulle's another guy who can't score offensively.
Did I tell you Seth Curry had 36? Yeah, I did.
When
Okay.
Seth Curry is scoring that many points for you, you have a problem. Yeah, you have a problem.
Trae Young had 7, 10, 9.
Wow, bro.
Keep going.
I am
11.
Shocked. I am so shocked.
13. Jesus Christ. I'm still looking. Yeah, like let's just go with 15 points because I couldn't look it up. And I'm still looking.
15 plus points.
And he probably had like 6 assists. Unbelievable. Gosh. So it's stock, right? Like we're in agreement at this point.
I warned you. I said it in the beginning of the year. Like Doc is
they're getting the Doc experience.
Somehow Doc always winds up being like this high touted like coach, like, oh, Doc Rivers. And it's like all he has to show for is that 2008 finals with the Boston Celtics.
I could have coached that too.
My point, obviously had a lot of talent. Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce, arguably all three of them.
Rondo.
Rondo. All three of those guys either at the end of their prime or in the middle of it. And like you said, like you could have coached that team. And after that or before that, what the hell has this guy done? He failed the Clippers. Like, don't even get me started on his GMing skills.
Oh, no. That GM Doc is my favorite Doc in the sense that he's the worst.
And I mean, part of it is kind of like, I know a lot of people love Daryl Morey. Sorry.
You're good.
But when you're paying guys, or did he give out that contract to Tobias?
No. That was a Brett Brown era contract. Come on. I feel like they should have went in for Harden. Like, I feel like this wouldn't be a problem.
That's true.
Like, I know it's hard to give up Ben Simmons, but like what's gonna happen, dude? Like, how much longer can you put up with this shit in the playoffs? Like, you're supposed, like, okay, I understand he does a lot, right? Like, but if you give up 39 to Trae Young and you're like the best defender in the league, and you score 8 points and you're like a offensive negative at times, you miss 10 free throws, bro. Like, you can't be good enough free throw shooter to hit like 50%. Like, I'm gonna look up what he's shooting from the.
It's the Giannis effect, kind of.
Giannis at least 50. He make one, miss one.
Yeah, some bad games though.
This dude is like, come on.
Ben Simmons is on a whole nother level.
This hack of Simmons right now, bro.
So is Philly gonna blow this series?
Oh yeah, I think it's done. I don't think Philly has the.
I think they're capable of winning 2 straight though. Don't you think?
I don't think they have like the mental makeup. 34% from free throw line this playoffs. How did he go from 70 to 34?
Yeah,
I think we need to do a deep dive on this one. I mean, when you have a guy who shoots from the, like, what was the average shot 1.2 feet away, and he's your like point guard, de facto point guard, I think that's a problem. Like, what can he do? It's just like,
I think after this season too, if they lose in this series, his trade value is going to go down. You do know that,
no,
right?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think some idiot would talk themselves into like his growth of skill. Because this is what I'm tired of, right? Like, how long has he been in the league? Let me see. He's been in the league like what?
This is 4th year?
5th year? 5th year.
Okay.
Because he got hurt his rookie year, right?
Okay, 5th year.
Some idiot's going to talk about, dude, his jump shot looks really good. He made a 3. Like, every year there's that video, right? Where it's like, Ben Simmons shot, eyeball emoji, looks good. It ain't never translated, bro. And it's not even about the threes. It's like, you have no offensive skills. Like, you have some floaters I like. You have the ability to drive to the rim. Great handle for a guy your size. Where's your mid-range game? Where's your post game? Where is it? I'm dying to know.
He has a little bit better post game than Giannis.
feel like he's got a better feel for the game than Giannis.
Yeah, probably.
That's more like he's like a true point guard in a sense. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to do.
So you're rolling with Atlanta.
I think Atlanta's got him in the back. Like, this is that's
crazy. This is a magical run for the Hawks.
I know. So did they lose the trade to Luka?
Hey, that's a good little...
Dude, they're one KD injury away from winning the finals, bro. Like, what if Trae Young wins a championship by some unbelievable...
I think a lot of people will not give him total credit. He's gonna a lot of people are gonna be like, kind of like with the Lakers Mickey Mouse championship.
Oh yeah,
like they're gonna be COVID championship, like KD got hurt or Harden got hurt, LeBron got hurt, all these guys got hurt, but it's like,
I mean,
you still got to win some games.
That's a great soundbite because I want to talk about something a little bit later, just about what this NBA season is going to be defined by.
Yeah. Anything else on this series, Max, besides disappointment?
I think we should go from a team that chokes as you cough, as you choke. Let's go from Doc. Can we go back to Doc Rivers' old roots? Are we allowed to do that?
What?
They're in the route to choke, the Clippers, right?
Oh, man.
Is this considered a choke?
No, this is not a choke. I don't think this is. I mean, at the end of the day, Max, this is a number 1 seed. Donovan Mitchell, great.
Well, no,
player.
I don't even think it's a choke. I mean, like, Kawhi Leonard is out.
Yeah.
Can I take you through the timeline?
Yeah.
Gets hurt, 5 minutes left in the game. He says after the game, I'm good. This morning report, he's out for the series with a knee sprain. Meanwhile, Clippers think it's a torn ACL, and he might be out for playoffs and potentially a year. This has taken a very dramatic turn from Clipper fans going to bed knowing he's good.
Yeah. I mean...
So you saw the play, right?
Yeah, I saw it. And
what does it make you think of?
Well, you reminded me of the Rondo year when he messed up his knee.
Yeah, and it was kind of weird. Like, he decelerated and they kind of like grabbed it, and it didn't look bad at all.
Yeah,
but that's kind of how ACL injuries can go at times, or like a bad knee injury can go. It's like the most innocent looking thing.
Yeah, and right now they're down by 3, but
it's still early.
Yeah,
playoff P. Time to shit or get off the pot.
I tweeted out this morning. I said, "Well, it's all right. They have playoff P." Oh wait, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think the jury's out on that one, ain't it?
Yeah, but I mean, he's going to be the guy that's going to have to step up.
What?
And it's going to be open because by the time we finish this podcast, they're going to still be playing. So the series is still open. But as far as injuries go, I think that brings up the question because some other bigger news came out today, and we're talking about COVID. We're talking about injuries. We're talking about the season as a whole. I mean, so many guys have went down. It started off with Anthony Davis.
You took what I was going to say. This NBA season is one that's defined by injury.
Yeah. Well, let's go over AD, James Harden,
okay,
Kyrie Irving,
okay,
Kawhi,
yep,
Chris Paul now,
yep,
with COVID, Donovan Mitchell. You got to add him in.
Jamal Murray,
LeBron. LeBron's
he got her for like 3 months. Come on, 2 months. Come on, okay, throw him in there.
Okay. Who else?
You said Harden, Kyrie, and KD, all 3 of them.
That's already 8 guys.
Okay.
Did I say KD?
Lou got hurt, didn't he? But he still played.
Yeah. I think that's it. I mean, those are some big names, though.
Said Jamal Murray, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we talk about the whole Houston team?
John Morant got hurt.
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward.
Talking about guys who were actually good.
Klay Thompson. He's a carryover.
Yeah.
Oubre, Wiseman, John Wall. Everyone's Miles Turner. Fun one.
Yeah.
Oladipo.
Butler.
Another fun one. Jimmy Butler for a long stretch of time. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, even though I don't think that was an injury. Oh, my God. Orlando Magic. Jonathan Isaac. Markelle Fultz. That was a good
Otto Porter.
What did I say?
You said Markelle Fultz and
Jonathan Isaac and Otto Porter.
Yeah, Isaac was out before the year, though. It's kind of like Clay.
He came back. Oh, no. I'm tripping. I'm thinking the Fultz. Danny Green just got hurt. I think that's everything, right? Mike Conley's out right now.
Mike Conley. Yeah, there's a lot. Like, is this a problem? Like,
it's the short season shit, bro. It's a short season, I think.
LeBron went on his rant
Yeah, of course.
To me,
LeBron's like, I'm right.
I kind of think LeBron's bullshitting. Don't you think he has enough power to be like, hey, we shouldn't start the season?
No, not that much.
You don't think so?
I don't think he's got more power than like the NBA owners, all 30 combined.
I would disagree.
All 30.
To a certain extent, yeah.
All 30. You got to think about it like this, bro.
I mean, you got to think about it like this. LeBron has all the players.
No, he don't. I don't agree with that because how many players are living paycheck to paycheck in the NBA? Like 70%, right? No. How many players can afford to sit out an NBA season and not worry about money in the bank?
A good chunk.
More than 50%?
Yes.
Hell no.
Yes.
How many guys do you think are highly paid?
The whole fucking NBA is highly paid.
That's not true. There's a lot of guys out there. Like I'd say if there's a 15-man roster, 5 guys are making good money on that team.
And just to put it in perspective, like there's a lot of guys with guaranteed contracts in the NBA.
No, I agree, but I'm saying LeBron got 5 guys on every team on his side. And the other 10 guys are like, bro, we got to play this season. So he don't have that much power to be like, yo, this season ain't starting without me. Like Chris Paul got more power in the NBA than LeBron.
Yeah, but I feel like LeBron and Chris Paul are like hand in hand.
There's boy toys.
Yeah.
Buddy.
LeBron's on board. A lot of the players are going to be on board.
I mean, I agree, but I mean, he kind of had that thing in the bubble. Remember when, who was it? There was like the social justice thing.
And the game stopped.
Yeah, and the game stopped, but it wasn't LeBron. And LeBron kind of ruffled people the wrong way when he was like, some bullshit.
No, I think that's wrong.
Some feathers. That's what they said.
Yeah, but it was him and Kawhi saying that they didn't want to play.
You know, I'm saying not that, but he ruffled people's feathers in like the player only meeting. And he kind of got some people turned against him. Look, if LeBron James said, I don't want to, NBA should not play next season, it's still going to happen. He's one man.
I don't think he's getting to that though. Maybe start the.
I just think he wants to be like I told you guys. So this shit was going to happen with the short playoffs or the short like regular season like rest time. Like they got 90 days rest. So the Heat and they had a lot of injuries. The Heat. I mean, it's a condensed season. What do you guys expect? How about the lockout? There was some good injuries too.
Yeah. But
like they had back to back.
I mean, it's a big impact, bro. It's gonna decide the champion.
It's defining. Like I know injuries kind of always do, but how rare? Like it's rare when you get teams just gutted, like the Lakers.
It's big this year.
I feel like it kind of. I feel like the CP3 news today, which it's awesome that it's indefinite amount of time, which is just great if you're a Phoenix Suns fan.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, this series goes 7, right? The Jazz series,
for
Phoenix fans, because I feel like it just destroyed Game 4 for the Suns. Like all the momentum, it's like we just got. Man, this is like Chris Paul roller coaster, is it not?
If Game it's not 1 the injury, COVID is coming after him.
I would have bet $100 his hamstring was going to be the thing that derailed his playoffs, not his shoulder.
Yeah, because he tested positive, man. So
and they don't know if he's well. He might be vaccinated. No one knows. And that's private information. I don't think anyone
It's going to be tough. But, I mean, I know we're talking down like with the COVID and the NBA injuries, but I do want to talk about Chris Paul because the last time you guys seen us, they were still playing, but they have won the series. If you guys didn't hear, they swept the Denver Nuggets.
Suns in 4, as a very famous fan once said.
Foe. But, point God, bro. Chris Paul, how happy were you for Chris Paul besides your Lakers hate?
I was happy for him. He had, I think, 8 shots in a row. He had like how many middies in the third quarter? He took the game over.
Yeah, I haven't seen that since Game 6 when he was in Houston, where like he had a game like that.
Oh yeah, it was great. I'm still a little worried about the shoulder. Well, now I'm not worried about the shoulder. I'm worried about the COVID
protocols.
Shit. Yeah. Suns kicked their butt. It's not Denver's fault, It's just they were missing Jamal Murray so much.
Yeah, I mean the series is really obsolete. I mean they were shorthanded, but I'm more going on like Chris Paul. Like where do you see him? Like
he hasn't really declined at all.
Because this is his second conference finals appearance.
Yeah, correct.
So if he wins this and they move on, they go to the finals. Does this change the legacy of Chris Paul, or does he have to win?
He has to win a finals because people are dumb and people are going to just say, well, he never won a championship. He's not that good.
Is he better than Stockton?
Yeah, I think so.
Is he better than Curry? Okay, let me just give you this.
As a point guard, yeah.
Where is he on the point guard list?
Probably one of the. I just think what point guard has changed. Like what point guard means, excuse me, has changed. Like when me and you were kids growing up, point guards set the table, and now point guards are expected to score. And I feel like there's been this definition of lead ball handler and point guard that used to be synonymous, but now it's like lead ball handler, and they just call that guy a point guard when that's not the case. Like Luka Doncic isn't a point guard; he's a big ass small forward playing point guard. LeBron's not a point guard, is he? He's a forward playing point guard.
Yeah,
I feel like whoever the guy is who handles the offense is like the definitive point guard. And when Chris Paul entered the league, point guard set the table. He's the best blend of scoring and assisting I've ever seen from a point guard.
Well, he's a dying breed. We haven't seen this since a guy like Stockton.
I agree 100%. It's just a travesty that the injuries are going to define. Like he's got a lot of choking moments, which are bad for him. But if he wins a championship, it's all going to be forgotten.
I mean, did he really have a choking moment?
Oh yeah, a lot of the teams he had choking moments. You want me to list them?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Game 6 Clippers, where they were down by 30.
That is a choke
up by
moment
30, and
against Houston, right?
Josh Smith took the game over. Another one, his hamstring popping is choke. I would say, like they choked against the Warriors. The Clippers had some bad playoff losses with him. That's where I would say he choked.
Yeah, but he also had some bad luck.
Yeah, he really did have. He had a lot more bad luck than a lot of guys. And like I said, it's just a gut punch because they beat the MVP. And I'm really hating the shit I'm seeing. He didn't deserve MVP if he got swept. Well, it's like, okay. Yeah, because, regular season award.
Well, before we go on Jokic.
Okay, or the Nuggets in general.
Where do you rank him?
Chris Paul?
Yeah.
He's the best pure point guard probably I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, Stephen Curry is better than
Magic?
him. Magic, I can't really. He's a pure point guard, but he's just physically a freak.
Is he better than Isaiah?
I'd say yeah, better than Isaiah Thomas. Yeah,
that's tough.
Very tough. Yeah, it's not easy. Like
I'll probably go. Me personally, I'll go Magic 1, Steph Curry 2, Isaiah 3, then Chris Paul 4.
I feel like Magic's not a guard, but he is. Like I was talking about earlier, and Stephen Curry is more of a combo guard. But yeah, he's better than Chris Paul, no doubt. It's just, I think it's like Steph Curry can't really play the way Chris Paul plays. If that makes sense, and vice versa.
It's like the graphic, bro. He's point god. Yeah. Like he's probably the best.
He's the last of a dying breed. Like Damian Lillard shoots, like Chris Paul. There's been how many times where you're like, I wish he'd shoot more, right? But he's always like, I could have set the table, and maybe that was to his detriment.
Yeah,
he was 14 for 19 game 4. 37-7. Like, what do you want from the guy?
Exactly. Well, you were kind of already going on it already, but let's get into the Nuggets' future, bro. As we know, Jokic swept MVP year, but he wasn't
great this series. I would say he had one great game. DeAndre Ayton did a hell of a job.
Yeah,
hell of a job.
DeAndre has been doing a hell of a job just in general in the playoffs, but they didn't have Jamal Murray.
Yeah, you lose your second best player. Most teams are going to lose a series, no doubt.
So, how are you looking at this team? Like, I was just talking to you about this off the air. I think they made a lot of mistakes down this road, and like maybe you can say like the aftermath of it, like they got MPJ, Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah,
but they lost their boy. They didn't re-sign Jeremy Grant. That's one mistake.
Freaking mistake. I stopped myself. Aaron Gordon, trash pickup, and that was kind of disappointing because that was
bad.
Another question. I have some fun stats. I'm going to do them all right now. How many threes did Aaron Gordon make this series?
5.
0.
Wow. That's tough.
He shot 8. 0 for 8.
Wow.
How many assists did MPJ have in 4 games?
5.
4. That's a good guess.
Yeah.
How many turnovers did Chris Paul have? He had 40 assists.
0.
No, I think it's 7. Let me check. I'm sorry.
Wow. I mean, that's an amazing
5.
stat. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Michael Porter Jr., he's a great talent, but his IQ is low.
I think he just needs...
He doesn't know how to play basketball yet.
I think he knows how to play. I just think...
He doesn't know how basketball works.
Is he a go-to scorer in your eyes?
Yeah, he's Zach LaVine, bro.
Big as Zach LaVine?
Yes.
I like that. I just feel like one, he was physically zapped. Something happened to him. Like he honestly, how worried would you give him a max?
No.
Would you give him a near max?
Yeah. He's
Even though he just had like a back issue.
Yeah. He's a number 3.
I'm so scared because that back issue. Like they met Aaron Gordon. Like let's revisit the trade deadline. JaVale McGee, crap. Aaron Gordon, nothing.
Yeah. When it counted.
And maybe that's different. Like I was really excited to see Aaron Gordon play with Jokic, and
like I like what Gordon did in the first round.
I liked it too, but I mean that was a bad Portland team.
Yeah. Exactly. They were bad on defense. So it wasn't that hard to score. But going back on my point, Jeremy Grant, a guy in Torrey Craig that's on the Phoenix Suns. That's another guy that they let go. They wound up paying a guy in Gary Harris who is fucking trash on offense.
Would you rather had Aaron Gordon or Gary Harris for this series?
Aaron Gordon.
I think Gary Harris is better than Aaron Gordon, bro.
I mean,
I know he can't shoot a leg, but at least he's really good on defense.
Yeah. But look, they paid Gary Harris a bunch of money. What's another guy that they lost out on? They paid Paul Millsap that money.
No, he's on a cheap deal now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he reconstructed, huh?
Yeah.
Is there any other guys?
Like they replaced a lot of the guys. Like they have Bol, who's just a meme. I don't think he's a bad player, but it's just like he doesn't really contribute yet.
Yeah.
Campazzo's not that good. I know he's your little hustle heart. But like I'll pull up the roster from like 3 years ago and we can just go over it real quick.
Yeah.
It's just,
I mean,
they used to have so much depth, and it's like, damn, they're thin now.
The big mistake, I think, in both of our eyes is Jeremy Grant.
Oh yeah,
that's the big one.
Yeah, they had Juancho, they had Malik Beasley,
Plumlee,
Trey Lyles, Vanderbilt, Isaiah Thomas. Shout out
Nurkic.
Oh, they traded him a while ago, but they had Juancho, Malik Beasley, Trey Lyles. Those are 3 good bench guys. They didn't get.
And they traded Malik Beasley for what? Didn't they trade him?
Yeah, they got like crap back. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I think he was in a 3-team trade that sent him to.
They traded
Minnesota.
Yeah, they traded Malik Beasley, Juancho, and Jared Vanderbilt for Denver. Got Gerald Green, Houston first-round pick.
Wow.
I'm sorry,
Covington.
Denver got Gerald Green and Houston first-round pick, and they gave up 2 good players.
Wow.
Oh, and they got Bates Diop, who's not good at all. That's bad, dude. Also, Noah Vonleh. Shout out.
Yeah, and they had a lot of depth.
Yeah, it's gone.
And it's all gone.
It's kind
now they're left with Caponzo. I mean, that really though.
Yeah, no, you're
right.
They
had like 3 or 4 solid guards.
They have 4 guys who's probably like starters on other teams
and they didn't capitalize off of it. And I think a big problem is they didn't go for Harden. I would have went for Harden. I would have did it. I know there's a debate there. I know there's a debate there on how Jokic probably would not be a good fit with Harden. I disagree. I think him at the top of the key in that high pick and roll, like him and Jamal Murray have, I think Harden will be deadly, man. They should have did it.
I think Bradley Beal's the next guy. Like, I think if you put Bradley Beal on this team instead of Michael Porter Jr., they would have won this series. I know they got swept, but I think Bradley Beal's that good.
Yeah.
And I feel like Michael Porter Jr., like I would sell on him when he's high. I just don't think he's going to be reliable, man. It's just the injuries, 1, 2, he's so young. And how's he going to develop? How does he develop when he's the third wheel?
Yeah.
To a go-to guy. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah. Would you like him trading for a guy like Ben Simmons?
To do what? To be Aaron Gordon?
Yeah.
Here we have Aaron Gordon. What do you need?
Yeah. Well, besides Bradley Beal then. So you're saying Bradley Beal would be a good fit.
Oh, great fit. They need a big...
Who else? Like, who else would you think to put on this team?
Jeremy Grant would be good. I mean, do you mean like stars or just anyone? Like
anyone. Like, just throw out some names.
Robert Covington, add him, add Melo, JK. Gordon Hayward would be good on this team. You need like a big forward who can do a little bit of everything. That's what they're missing. I feel like Michael Porter Jr. for as much as we love him.
What about Paul George? Would you do that trade?
What? What's the trade? Tell me.
Jamal Murray for Paul George.
No, I do MPJ for Paul George for straight up.
What if we asked for a first round pick, the Clippers?
Here you go.
I would do that too.
Take it. I would sell on him, bro. Like
I would sell him while he's high.
Yeah,
I was arguing.
Yeah.
We were both talking about in the beginning of the year how you should sell him like
now.
Right? No, like mid-season. Like if he started doing good and he had that little good stretch,
it's the perfect time to trade him because he just had the 22 a game because of Murray. But like I said, how's he going to develop? Like I like Murray. I think he's a little overrated in my opinion, but I still like the guy.
Yeah.
But they really need to figure out what they're going to do. Like I think they're in a dangerous spot, right? Because they have they have a top 5 player in the NBA, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, facts. Jokic.
But they're a middling team. So they either need to shoot for the stars and do something drastic or...
I mean, it's just tough with Murray, man. Murray is just such a wild card.
No, I think they have a middling team even with Murray.
No, well, okay. You put Bubble Murray in there. Are they a middling team? No.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think so.
I do. I'm just going to disagree with you.
Why, though?
Because I don't think, like, Bubble Murray, like, okay, what is Bubble Murray? Like a top 10 player in the NBA, top 20?
I think he's on the level of like a Donovan Mitchell when he's on. When he's putting up 50,
that
bro.
sounds good, but I don't think that's real.
I don't think it's real either. That's the problem with Jamal Murray. He's super inconsistent.
I feel like he's just a slow starter, but once he gets going, it's really good. But
he's a wild card.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to explain.
He's like a heat check guy. Like,
yeah,
you won't have 51 night, 21 night.
Exactly. Anything else you want to talk about, Max?
I hate that injuries have decided these playoffs. I feel like it's the biggest thing. It's not even about a lot of the best teams haven't won, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna do it.
Are you satisfied with their performance today?
Yeah, it went by fast though.
I think the KD talk was my favorite part.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of the show?
I like Chris Paul talk.
Ew. Gross.
Talking about how Giannis is bad.
Why do you hate him?
I really think he's overrated.
I think it all started with that Semi Ojeleye stopping Giannis for you 3 years ago.
Hey, I was a big Giannis hater. But when he kind of like...
We called him out.
Yeah, we did. And he kind of proved it at that point.
Can we stop hating on people for being right in the moment?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, 2 years ago I said Giannis was bad in the playoffs. Well, 2 years ago I was right, you know?
Exactly. But we're going to let you guys go. Mr. Bell looked like he joined a little bit late. Couple of people, Chris Bell, looked like they joined the party. It said,
thank you guys for joining, by the way.
Yeah.
We missed you guys earlier.
Appreciate it, bro. Jamal needs guard help.
Yeah, I agree.
CJ McCollum?
No. Why?
Another score? Fuck it, we'll just put the label that the Blazers had onto the Nuggets.
Jonathan Isaac. I would get him on the Nuggets.
Ooh. I don't think the Magic will let him go though, because the Magic are just like, no.
Mo Bamba. I don't even. I swear to God, I've never heard the song. Mo. Is that it?
Mo Bamba. But thank you guys for watching. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We just hit 1,000 followers on Instagram. We're going to be doing a giveaway next week on our live show. So tune in for that. Maybe a jersey involved, maybe a gift card. Who knows? But the way you're going to have to enter is subscribing on YouTube. All right. Because that's where you guys are watching this now. So make sure to subscribe right now just to get it over with, bro. Like the video and keep on supporting us, bro, because we're extremely grateful for it.
Is there a new video that we've released that's getting some views that you would recommend to people? That
I would recommend. Oh, look, Mr. Bell, bro, he's on it.
What'd he say?
What about Lonzo Ball?
Thank you. Can I talk about him for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, I have never been the biggest Lonzo Ball guy. I didn't want him to be drafted to the Lakers. I made that very clear. But the reason I made the video was I think there's this misconception of Lonzo Ball talking about, well, we've obviously seen inconsistencies in his game, right? Where he's 0 for 8 from 3 and then he's 8 for 9 from 3, right? You've seen that.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's this misconception about he's not the next great point guard. That ship has sailed. And it's not a negative. To me, like I said in the video, he's a 3 and D plus P player. And I was reading some of the comments, and they're like, "You guys lost me at the end. How's he a 3-and-D player?" Well, what you want him to run 15 pick and rolls a game? Is that what you're telling me you want? Because what's he going to do? Is he going to hit a floater in the middle of the key? Is he going to take a mid-range jump shot? I know he's gotten a little better at it. Is he going to finish at the rim at a good rate? No. The best thing he does is shoot threes, get in transition. I like him in transition when he's passing. I don't like anything about him scoring other than 3-point shooting.
Right.
And I was reading other people said like he's explosive. He's a good athlete. Maybe like on his best day, he's a good athlete, but explosives, Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell, those are guys that are explosive to me.
And there's a difference between a good first step and explosiveness. Like they kind of go hand in hand a little bit. Like LaMelo, he has a good first step, great first step, like his brother. Lonzo, not really the same thing.
But overall, he can be one of the best, if not the best, 3-and-D player in the league.
And I think Mr. Bell was saying with the Nuggets, would he be a good fit with Murray?
I wouldn't mind that fit at all.
Yeah.
And like I wanted to, I don't know if I made this point clear enough in the video. I think I did, but I'll just reiterate. He's a good defender in a bad team. When you're around crap, you'll look like crap sometimes.
Yeah.
Like some shows, I look like crap, and it's not my fault. You got it?
I got it.
Thanks. You were like looking at me, and I was like, "You can get it?" No, I'm kidding. That was a joke.
Yeah, I got you.
But shout out to Carson Wentz looking like shit when surrounded by shit. Damn, I'm cursing so much. I'm sorry.
Know. He cursed more than me this podcast.
I wish someone would tally the curses. Oops, I bumped the mic. No, but if you guys have like 8 minutes and 8 seconds, watch the video. And my friend here, Juan, did an excellent job editing it. I want to make sure he gets his props. Great job. I just come up with the ideas. He does all the good work.
Yeah. Teamwork, bro. Teamwork make the dream work. But we're going to end this stream, guys. Thank you to everyone who has joined us on this live stream. If not, you guys are watching the replay, or if you guys are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or any other listening platform, make sure to follow us, subscribe, 5-star rate us, whatever you want to do, bro. It helps out. We're so grateful, bro. We're having a great time doing this. Watch the Lonzo Ball video on YouTube. Tell us what you think. Comment down below. That's going to be right here. Playlist is going to be right there. But for now, we are out. Peace.